feel some way. So I go on DJ, la 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 la, hey 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 hey. Yo, give me the mic again now. I make me set the trend now. You know me have the flow. You know me have me friend now. You from me grab me pen now. I start fi make the thing now. Lyrics are running and go down. Me I go transcend now. Me say it now go end now. I just the beginning now. Me know them vex me have them stress me just I wallop them now. Okara content now. You know me God send now. Now apologize me realize say them take offense. But me no know how what them want the I fi say. Yo, me no know how what them want the I fi do. Me get a work from the most high.
Denise Gomez, host and producer of Inside the Zone in New York, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Join me on Mondays at 5 on Fit 96.7, fitfmja.com, Trelawney's Radio, your life, your music, for exciting features within the diaspora. And hear what's on our minds. It's live at 5 on Fit 96.7, fitfmja.com. Denise Gomez, and I have exciting interview segments and features inside the zone. For recording artists, you can sing? Well, Inside the Zone, second Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. is for you. Writers, share your story, no man, in From the Author Zone on third Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Male Zone has unbelievably juicy stories of love, heartbreak, and triumph. 7 p.m. has never been this good. On Mondays, it's news, talk, engaging features at 7 in the Monday Drive. And Center Stage has everyone talking on Thursdays. Be a part of the show. Email me insidethezonelyc@gmail.com or call me 914-304-2592. Thursday. Thursday. I'm here with you, Thursday. I haven't left you. I'm here, Medea, and I am excited. I just love being here so you can hear my voice and talk to me. How are you doing to my online and on-air crew? Good evening, everyone. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It's good to be here with you, just with you, only with you, and no one else. A very pleasant good evening to you. I am your producer and your presenter, Lady D, Denise Gomez. Welcome to another edition of the show. Inside the Zone, the community platform where information is guaranteed. I'm broadcasting on Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7 FM, Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, www.caribbeanvibesradio.com, Touch FM Radio 90.1. Hey everybody. It's a good day. And I'm here, ready to go. 12 minutes after 6 o'clock. I'm broadcasting on my YouTube channel, live streaming on my YouTube channel, Inside of the Zone with Lady D. Hello to you. Good evening, Sharns. Good evening, Vero. How you both doing? How una do? That's okay, Vera. I see your private note. I appreciate you're here with me until that time. Good evening to you, Patrick Tyson. I enjoyed as much as I could this morning. Thank you for the uplifting, inspirational music that you played. 30 minutes after 6 o'clock. Inside the Zone is a culture-centric radio program that connects the Jamaican diaspora and international audiences globally. The show's content captures its people's social, cultural, and collective views on issues that affect their communities: family, health, finance, education, immigration, housing, wealth management, life and health insurance, real estate, and food insecurity on Monday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Thursday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Linkage Radio. What do I have in store for you this evening? Where are you? Who are you? What are you doing? I'm curious. I'm curious. Coming up, our inspirational zone, we get our praise on with great gospel music, followed by News Zone, a rebroadcast of the news courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service. Music Zone, what kind of music is it again? Calypso Music Thursday. Calypso, music on a Thursday. And at 7 o'clock, it's What's Inside the Zone. Good News International Church members in Nairobi, Kenya, believed they would go to heaven if they starved themselves to death. And this happened this month. So I want to share that with you at 7 o'clock. And we'll be talking. And for those of you who did not hear my PSA recently, Mail Zone will be aired on a second Thursday at 7 p.m. So there are changes in the programming. And in my ITZ special feature, an icon of his time, Harry Belafonte. So Harry went home to be with his maker, and I'll be featuring him in the show this evening, wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever you're doing. I'd like to say hi. Hi, my name is Denise, Lady D Gomez. And for those of you who are on my on my social media, you saw me talking about soccer. When they say you're soccer something,
because the object is not as sharp as it should be. So I sat at my desk yesterday having a downtime, and I said to myself, I don't really post on TikTok like that. I post my shows and on social media. I'm not up in people's faces frequently like that, only when I'm posting about the show and what's coming up and so on. And so I chose to sit at my desk yesterday, and I just did a piece at my desk. I just reminded everybody that I would put the chicken under the bath pan and then put the bath pan, the edge of the bath pan over the chicken neck, grab my knife and begin to saka, which means the poor chicken would be there a flat or go away, next to dead and neck not coming off fast enough. You all remember that, don't you? So that's what I was doing yesterday on the job. But anyway, it was my downtime, 17 minutes after 6 o'clock. So I just had to, break the ice with everybody tuning in this evening. It's not one of those evenings, but certainly, I love to catch up and just say blessings. Blessings, Chris Wilby, upon top of blessings to you. And I'd like to say good evening to you, Masa. Hope you'll be doing your show at 8 o'clock so I can make the transition nicely. So good evening. Welcome once again. I'm ready to go. How about you? It's time for us to get some inspirational moment. Did you get a chance to pray this morning? Did you hold up your hand and say, Lord, go with me as I leave my house, protect my house? Do you give that kind of blessing when you're leaving your house, or you're just gone? Just go through the door. You run to take the bus, you jump in your car, you walk, something. You have to keep your Savior with you. Keep him with you. 18 minutes after 6 o'clock, let's get some praise on here. This is my girl, Ariana Stanbury. So I also host a segment, I haven't done it in a while, called Gifted Fingers Touching Lives. And I interviewed Ariana. She is a great saxophonist, young girl.
Waymaker, miracle
Yeah, who wants to give it up for my girl Ariana Stanberry, Waymaker, true saxophonist. That's how she, that's her stage name. I'd like to say good evening, everyone. What an awesome, awesome way to feel the blessing of the Lord in, of course, our Inspirational Zone segment. My name is Denise, Lady D Gomez. Good evening to you, and you, wherever you are tuning in to Inside of the Zone with Lady D. It is center stage today, the platform where voices are heard and people connect right here on Linkage Radio, your budding and buzzing station, 24/7, 365 days for the year. We started so long ago. I was just reminiscing the other day. Won't repeat it. But yes, we've been around for a long time. 25 minutes after 6 o'clock. Good evening to you. Don't forget the show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. So yeah. I tell you.
This is Lady T, Denise Gomez, host and producer of Inside of the Zone in New York, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Join me on Mondays at 5 on Fit 96.7, FitFMJA.com, Trelawney's Radio, your life, your music, for exciting features within the diaspora. And hear what's on our minds. It's live at 5 on Fit 96.7, FitFMJA.com.
Welcome back. 26 minutes after 6 o'clock. It's now time for News Zone, a rebroadcast of the news courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, April 27, 2023. Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang is sounding the warning that the security forces will not be easing the pressure on criminal gangs as they seek to disrupt their operations and enforce the law. Dr. Chang says the police are now operating with improved intelligence and analytical capabilities, modern, fit-for-purpose equipment and tools, reliable communication, and updated legislation to ensure they win the fight against criminal gangs. He points to recent anti-gang successes in the court.
We have had 3 major gang trials, but I'll name 2. The Klansman gang trial, where 15 was convicted, 53 was apprehended. It's a new law. The police and the prosecuting officers went through a long process, a good conviction, but the other 40, we still have them on the radar, and the police is actively investigating and should be able to disrupt the gang totally very soon.
He adds that there were 9 convictions in the Uchense Wilson trial, while 5 other gang trials are still before the courts.
One, the Ranko gang, is a very large trial involving a group that was heavily involved in criminal activity in this side of the island. The Kings Valley Extension gang, a gang that has been involved in numerous murders on the Westmoreland area. Members of the Umbrella gang, the Singer Nighttime gang, and the Jaggy gang, all 5 cases coming up in the court, which are demanding extra special work by the courts. In fact, the chief just indicating we should maybe get a special court for gang trials.
The National Security Minister says another 51 gangs with over 1,000 members are on the police radar. Meanwhile, for the first 3 months of 2023, Jamaica recorded its lowest murder rate for a first quarter in the last 7 years. Minister of National Security Dr. Horace Chang made that declaration while delivering his contribution to the 2023-24 sectoral debate in Parliament earlier this week.
Since the start of this year up to April 22-23, murders committed in the country have been reduced by 17% compared to 2022. Overall major crime down by 20%.
Dr. Chang adds that while crime remains a serious issue for Jamaicans, crime victimization and feelings of insecurity have been significantly reduced at the community level. He points to the 2021 Latin American Public Opinion Project LAPOP survey, which reported Jamaica as having a crime victimization rate of 7% and only 18% of Jamaicans felt insecure in their communities.
It is evident, Madam Speaker, that the increased presence and the visibility of our police officers resulting from our strategic investment And the training we're giving them is beginning to restore some confidence at the community level.
He, however, acknowledged that the national mood is being impacted by criminal terrorists changing their operations, with organized alliances to hit high-value targets such as ATMs. The security minister says the police have built up intelligence, analyzed their activities, and are developing effective deployments.
The police officers are not sitting back and waiting and hoping. They are taking strategic action. We continue to expand and improve our intelligence capabilities to ensure they have all the tools required for strong, effective policing.
The Ministry of Labour and Social Security is replacing its existing legacy work permit system with a new web-based, mobile-friendly work permit and skills certificate management system. Portfolio Minister Karl Samuda made the announcement during his contribution to the sectoral debate in Parliament yesterday. He says the existing system is heavily paper-based and inefficient, with an average processing time of 6 to 8 weeks for applications that meet all the requirements. Minister Samuda says the new work permit system, by contrast, represents a decisive step to digitize more processes for increased efficiency and customer satisfaction.
The new system will facilitate investment in identified areas of need, since it will be informed by labor market intelligence, and it will facilitate the complete re-engineering of our work permit business process.
The new system is being implemented at a cost of $927,000 and is scheduled to be completed in October 2023. During the 2022-2023 fiscal year, the ministry received 4,855 applications for work permits, of which 1,843 were new applicants and 2,246 for renewals. Of the remaining 766 applications, 599 were for work permit exemptions and 167 for marriage exemptions. The ministry also processed 187 CARICOM Single Market and Economy CSME Skills Certificate applications and 11 Rights of Establishment applications. The National Water Commission, NWC, has spent nearly $400 million to truck water to drought-affected areas across the country. NWC President Mark Barnett made the announcement at a post-cabinet media briefing on Wednesday. It was reported that there was some rebound in rainfall levels in March, with Jamaica receiving 90% of the 30-year average rainfall, but this was not necessarily evenly spread. Thus, Mr. Barnett says previously imposed water restrictions will continue until the situation is resolved.
For the rest of the month and even further into May, the restrictions will still be in effect. And those will not be lifted until, as I said, there are improvements. We expect persons to be responsible, use water wisely, and it is not just during drought period, folks. Climate change is not about the drought. It's a continuous thing that is happening, so we need to be preserving our water resources.
Meanwhile, the minister with responsibility for water, Senator Matthew Samuda, says he intends to convene the Drought Management Committee early next week to do a further assessment of the situation. The meeting will evaluate the impact of the mitigation measures and ensure that the authorities have a full feel of which systems have recovered and which have not. Following that meeting, the minister will make a report to Cabinet, including whether stronger conservation measures are required.
If there is need for increased allocations, we will make the request to the Ministry of Finance, but that will be post our Drought Management Committee meeting of next week.
A National Farm Watch program has been launched in Chapelton, Clarendon. The initiative is a collaboration by the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, the Ministries of Agriculture and Health, along with the Jamaica Agricultural Society, JAS. The program is intended to provide residents in rural communities and other stakeholders with effective ways to combat predial larceny. State Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Franklin Witter says the ministry is working hard to address the issue of livestock theft.
We know that agriculture is the sector that is going to create that prosperity that we seek for our people in this country. And therefore, whatever strategies that we can put in place to ensure that we can mitigate against these activities in respect of predial larceny, we are compelled and we are willing and we are prepared to give the support to our farmers.
Farmers are being urged to form a buddy system with their neighbors by exchanging contact information, to be vigilant, and to report any suspicious activity to the police. And finally, the Balaclava Health Center in St. Elizabeth has resumed its adolescent health clinic for persons aged 10 to 19 years. The Adolescent Health Program, which was operational from as far back as 2013, became inactive due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It has restarted with the purpose of helping adolescents manage their health and development. Services offered at the clinic include HIV counseling and testing for adolescents 16 years and older, mental health screening and counseling, as well as drug abuse and nutritional counseling. It also offers oral health services, medical checkups, counseling for interpersonal conflicts, and assistance with homework. The clinics will be held every fourth Friday of each month from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. for adolescents in schools. Unattached adolescents can access the services from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Assistant Medical Officer of Health at the Balaclava Health Center, Dr. Carol Hamilton, says it's important to provide this safe space given the challenges that adolescents face at this time. She points out that adolescence is a period characterized by rapid physical, cognitive, and social changes, including sexual and reproductive maturation, and their risk-taking behaviors pose challenges to their health and development. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. That was a rebroadcast of the news courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service. Good evening, everyone.
This restaurant located at 802 Derrick Avenue in association with the Cargill Community Project presents our annual Spring Fish Fry on Saturday, May 20th to be held at Cooley Runnings Jerk Center, 1785 Derrick Avenue in the Bronx. Ticket donations $30. All proceeds will go to the Cargill Community Project. This event is from noon until 8 p.m. For tickets and more information, you can contact Cooley Runnings Restaurant at 718-324-7484 or 347-961-6785. That's 347-961-6785. And remember, this is our year-to-year Cargill Community Project Spring Fish Fry. Make it a date, and you better not be late. See you there.
Bloody scenes where nobody get to intervene. So before it had to reach to RIP, we cleaning every stain in the community. Touch one, touch all, that's how it goes. Go and tell the world and let them know that we don't want no more talk. This ain't right. You see, I myself once was abusing life. That's why I take some of my D-Match ground winnings and open up a house cleaning business limited. So please warn them. No, we going for our abusers this year. Left foot uppercut and a swift right hand. Any woman need help? Signal we like Batman. Oh, we can't take it again. We going for our abusers this year. And for all who like to do wickedness to children, I can't tell you what we have to pay for them. Oh, we can't take it again. We going for our abusers this year. Muhammad Ali ain't one nothing with we, cause we fast like a jet and we just bite like a macaque. Oh, we can't take it again. We going for our abusers this year. It is time we look out for one and all. So if you know licks passing, what? Signal the call. You see this topic, it has hurt me inside. They abuse me babies, some even die. People does know yet turn a blind eye. It takes a village to protect and raise a child. So you see them nasty dirty pedophiles, them messing up the lives of our children. In the lockdown they had a feast every innocent child. No, please, I watched my son sleep last night and I cried, praying to God, please protect his life. Cause anybody take God out the thought, they gonna feel the real fury of this lion roar. So please, God, no, we going for our bills this year. Left foot uppercut and a good spin kick. All who hot for kids, we go change your mind quick.
No, we can't take it again. We going for our bills this year.
To all them rich pedophiles, don't feel your money could save you. If we can't get you, I go to OB, I go reach you.
No, we can't take it again. We going for our bills this year.
I have a whole crew from South, East, West and Port of Spain. Give you a zestful cocktail that you touch a child again.
No, we
Never.
can't take it again. We going for our bills this year.
It is time we look out for one and all. So if you know a child needs saving, what?
Signal it on.
Turn a blind eye on a child, not take.
This is Denise.
We have a topic that I
listening
need
to
to address.
Splendid.
Is when a man in distress,
Beautiful,
we just laugh and make
brilliant,
joke when he cry,
innovative,
without thinking how he's inside. So don't wait until he slaughter his family. Police take reports seriously and stop the mockery. Mental support is what the men them lacking. It's time we listen, cause a woman could be evil as hell. So some of them well, abusive and cringe, then playing victim. Time to lock up some of them and show it the key. Since we like to protest gender equality, so please warn them. No, hell no for you too. You're playing bad John only time before. Now you're crying long tears trying to hide behind the law. Nah, all you don't fall for them pretty face and them bag of tricks. Some of them just act like they Satan sidekicks.
We can't take it again. We going for our bills this year.
Them know damn well a man ain't go feel good to admit is a woman who comes on him manhood.
No, we can't take it again.
Advantage.
For our bills this year.
It is time we look out for one and all. So if you know a man need backing, what?
Signal it on.
Who going house cleaning?
All are we.
Who going house cleaning?
All are we.
Who going house cleaning?
All are we.
We have to do it too. Hey, who going house cleaning?
All are we.
Who going house cleaning?
All are we. All are we.
Oh, wow. Okay. I said Calypso Music Thursday. Hello, it's 6:42 p.m. That's Terry Lyons for you with her house cleaning. I heard her mention something about Obi. I'm like, no, I'm not going there with you, Terry. But but essentially the song is saying she is not going to have nobody hurting our children and our women and so on. So, you know, what can I say? Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. It's Center Stage this evening, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. Welcome to my Jamaican corner, right here on Inside the Zone. Jamaican corner, Jamaican corner, Jamaican corner. Yeah, I can give you variations in my voice. So, Jamaican corner for you this evening. All about the Proverbs. So when we were growing up, right, you would have people saying things to you that you wondered what they meant. Like maybe your grandmother or your auntie or your uncle would say, finger never say, look here. Him say, look yonder. And you're like, what, ma'am? What, sir? What does that mean? But the translation, finger never says, look here. He says, look yonder. And the explanation for that is people do not usually point out their own faults. You know, we like to get into other people's story, but our story just lock up so nobody don't know our story. But we like to get into other people's stuff. I don't know why. It's just a thing. Good evening, everyone. It's my Jamaican corner. The Proverbs this evening, you know some good Proverbs? Yes, it's that time when I am sharing about us or culture, how we talk, the derivatives of a word. You know, you have all kind of words, right? And words have root meaning. So here's another one for you. If you get your hand in a devil mouth, take it out. If you get your hand in a devil mouth, take it out. Now the translation says, if you put your hand in the devil's mouth, take it out carefully. But the explanation says, act cautiously in getting out of difficulty. Act cautiously in getting out of difficulty. We may get ourselves into certain things. You can't sometimes just, bully your way out. Method in every madness. You have to kind of watch the situation or kind of read up the person to be able to slide your way out of the situation. I hope you're hearing me. 6:45 p.m. at Jamaican Corner. Here is another one. Peacock hide him foot when him hear about him tail. Peacock hide him foot when him hear about him tail. The translation, the peacock hides his foot when he hears about his tail. The explanation, a proud person does not like his little weakness exposed. A proud person does not like his little weakness exposed. Okay? You're a peacock. I'm a peacock. I'm a peacock. They're all. Sure. Alrighty. Now wait till drum beat before you grind your axe. Now wait till drum beat before you grind your axe. The translation says, do not wait until the drum beats before you grind your axe. Explanation, be prepared for all eventualities. That is true. And we don't often do that, A Jamaican Corner. Good evening, everyone. 6:46. You're afraid for your yai, you never nyam head. You're afraid for yai. Oh, yeah. You never nyam head. Translation. If you are afraid of the eye, you will never eat the head. If you're afraid of the eye, you will never eat the head. The explanation. If you regard too much the good opinion of anyone, you will never prosper. If you regard too much the good opinion of anyone, you will never prosper. I think this one is my takeaway this evening. A Jamaican Corner. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. And I want a fat make nightingale foot tan so. And I want a fat make nightingale foot tan so. The translation, it is not for the want of fat that the nightingale's legs stand so. Explanation, do not judge by appearances. Do not judge by appearances. How many of us do that? Because we don't sound a certain way, look a certain way, walk a certain way, live a certain place. Watch it. Get your patwa together now, Lady D. Every devil help thief. Some people don't write patwa well, One gad we help watchman. Let's do this again. Every devil help thief. One dear God we help watchman. Let's see if we get this right. The translation, every day the devil helps the thief. One day God will help the watchman. Okay. Explanation, we should not despair when it appears to us that unscrupulous persons continue to take advantage of us with no apparent deterrent. God never sleeps and is fully aware of everything that occurs. He will one day reward the efforts of the faithful. All right. That one was a challenging one. Good evening. You have a proverb? You don't have a proverb? go find one. Good evening. Welcome. Coward man, keep sound bone. Everybody know that one. The translation, a cowardly man keeps sound bones. Explanation, it is better to be thought of as a coward than to give away one's life through impetuous behavior. It is certain that, as in the old Chinese proverb, the man who fights and runs away will live to fight another day. I feel like I'm back in my Shakespeare class. Okay. So, cock, mout, kill, cock. Translation, the rooster was killed by his own mouth. The butcher would not have known where to find him if he had not opened his mouth to crow. Yes, sir. Explanation. One should never boast, nor should one speak out of turn. We should choose our words with care, lest we by our own tactlessness cause ourselves unhappiness. Whoops! I think we need to reel in back this one. Cock, mout, kill, cock. Translation, the rooster was killed by his own mouth. The butcher would not have known where to find him if he had not opened his mouth to crow. Explanation, one should never boast, nor should one speak out of turn. We should choose our words with care, lest we by our own tactlessness cause ourselves unhappiness. I think that one here just sink. Because sometimes we just talk because we think we can, and we think we should, and we think we must, and that we have to express and beat our chests. People do that, you know. And in the process, sometimes you talk yourself out of a good thing. You talk yourself out of something that could have benefited you. But because you want to beat up your chest and everybody say you're big, then when you're big, it's either you stay or you go through the door. Fair enough? A Jamaican thing right here on Inside the Zone. I'm wrapping up in a few minutes. Just walking down memory lane here with some good old Jamaican proverbs. You ever hear when we in church and they call out proverbs? Proverbs! Dog no hole if him... come Denise. Dog no hole if him ha bone. Dog no hole if him a bone. Translation, the dog does not howl. Oh, so that is howl. Okay. If he has a bone. That is true. Him not comfortable. He might enjoy bone. Where am I going to open up his mouth for? The dog is an animal which is very fond of bones and is not likely to appear miserable if it has bones to gnaw on. Similarly, people do not become upset or agitated if they are comfortable. It is also difficult for some persons to lobby against issues which do not directly concern them. Hold your corner, in other words. And as I'm winding down, here's another one. If you no mash ants, you no find him guts. If you no mash ants, you no find him guts. Translation, if you do not smash an ant, it is impossible for you to find its guts. Explanation, it is only when you are closely involved with some persons that you are able to really know them. If one is not provoked, it is impossible to know the extent of his or her fury. That is me. Don't trouble me. Other than that, you don't know me. All fire tick easy fi catch. All fire tick easy fi catch. Translation, old fire sticks are easily rekindled. Old fire sticks are easily rekindled. Explanation, It is much easier to light coals, which have been burnt before, than to get a fire going with fresh logs. Similarly, if a relationship has previously existed between two people, it is easier to rekindle the flames of love than to start a new relationship with someone else. And might I add, if you did left for a reason, nobody go back. A Jamaican thing right here on Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. What did I do this evening? Yeah, man, I took you back down memory lane and left small nuggets for you. Things that you can take away and say, you know, something I need to go back, go reassess, reevaluate. That's what I'm talking about. 6:54. I'm here on one lecturing. 6:54 p.m. My name is Denise Gomez.
Is on your radio, Inside the Zone. You're listening to, once again, the queen of radio. Her name is Lady D, Denise Gomez, and she is on your radio.
Thank you, Minister Tyson. Good evening. Welcome, my Jacks. How are you? How are you? Oh, Florida is hot. Oh, yes. Oh, my. Turn on your AC, my dear. Good evening to our audience on Touch FM Radio 90.1. It's a long time I haven't spoken to my 90.1 people. Tony, how are you all over there? Good evening. Chris Wilby, I'd love to hear one of Chris's audience call me one of these days and say, hey, Lady D, listen and talk to me. You know, yeah. But I'd like to say a very special hi to everyone tuning in. To my YouTubers who just love to sit over there and easy. I'm going to put on to work. Can't be over there. So, by the way, if you're tuning in, don't forget to log on to my YouTube channel and subscribe. Please subscribe so that, you know, things will be happening over there. And I'd like you to be a part of it. Our telephone number is 914-600-4228, 914-600-4228. Coming up at 7 o'clock, I have a feature for you, and I would like you to engage me in conversation this evening. Talk back to me this evening, because I came across this headline featured in the Jamaica Observer. I was going through my phone at all the news headlines that popped up, and I realized that there was something really serious going on over there in Nairobi, in Kenya, and I'd like to share that with you at 7 o'clock. 4 minutes to the hour of 7. Good evening, everybody. Where una day? What una doing? A Thursday. It's Thursday. Sorry for my bad way of talking. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. So good evening to one. Good evening to all. And by the way, let me see. Okay, so let me find the one I'm looking for. But I'd just like to welcome you all to the show and to let you know that I'm here on a Thursday evening with Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. And you're connecting with me this evening, and I appreciate you. I'd also like to let you know that King Ryan, who is an avid supporter of the show Inside the Zone, is giving away 4 tickets for the upcoming fish fry, courtesy of Cooler Runnings. So I'd like persons, especially new people, if you're new, if you're watching on live stream, or if you're watching for the first time and you want to say, Lady D, I would like to come, then you can call me here. Call me at 914-600-4228. That's 914-600-4228. It is Thursday. And what else happening? Patrick Tyson and I will be there. We always have a good time hosting the day's events. So we'll be there for Fish Fry. We're going to be there during the summer for our giveaway and all of those things. And coming up on May 13 at New Testament Temple, Church of God, the place that I worship, 3350 Seymour Avenue in the Bronx, Carlene Davis will be in town on Saturday, May 13th, that's the day before Mother's Day, for a Mother's Day concert and dinner. And I'm inviting you, if you have nowhere to take your mother, you want to come, enjoy the concert, and then dine with us, please, we would love to have you. So, May 13, you can come. Me want to see you. And when you come, say, I'm looking for Lady D, and I'd be too happy to escort you, go put you for sit down, and all of them nice things. Good evening, my Callie, you're going to your bed. Callie's in England. That's my cousin. She said going to bed. Okay, my Cal. I know they're 5 hours ahead. Oh, so it's midnight. Do you know, Callie? Yes, so she's going to bed. Thank you for popping in, my love. Good evening, King. How are you? My girl, Jack, Brainbox Jackie's on. And who else is here with me now? Chris Wilby, Patrick Tyson, Sherns, Vero. Well, Vero had said she would have to leave early. So wherever you are tuning in, I appreciate you. So it's now 7 o'clock. Let me just get into, and by the way, all morning I have been watching the Penn Relays, which kicked off this morning. And they had some of the races. I saw my Jamaican athletes doing their thing. Lord, these little white children, though, I don't know if they don't teach them that when you're doing the, like the 4x4, say 4x4, and any distant races that they have to kind of huddle together, they need to teach them how to separate. I saw a little white one, everybody going around the corner, and there he is going across the track with everybody else. He caused 2 others to topple over on top of him. I mean, come on now. But anyway, they are doing well. I'll be tuning in tomorrow as well. I subscribe to these things, so I have the pleasure of watching them. Anyway, good evening to you, and you. And right now, I would just like to say a very pleasant good evening to someone who is tuning in. You're celebrating your birthday. Happy birthday to you. It's your wedding anniversary, man. You feel like you're in your 25th year, 30th year, or maybe the first year, Good. I'm happy that you've made it this far. And a baby was born somewhere in the world today. Life came into the world. So thank you, God, for, so when you're giving birth, you're at death's door, people. I don't know how people just have baby. Seriously. Childbirth is a very, very dangerous place that you go to, It has caused many to die. It's not easy. So when they come into the world and the mother is, well, you have to hold up your hand and give thanks. So good evening. Alrighty. So here is the news that I came across. Welcome to the feature this evening. Of course, it's what's inside the zone. Good News International Church members in Nairobi, Kenya, believed they would go to heaven if they starved themselves to death, which they did, most of them. So I'd like to share that bit of news with you and to hear your take. It's not today we know about cults and stuff, but, things are happening globally. And we all just can't stay in our own boxes and feel safe. I don't think we should. And if it concerns one nation, it should concern all the other nations across the world. So, with more than, let me see which one I should read first. This is April 25, and this one is, okay, I'll start with yesterday's first. So the death toll keeps climbing as investigators search a forest in Kenya where a starvation cult gathered. The lead pastor is in custody, but hundreds of people are missing. The horrific tragedy is still unfolding as investigators search the site where Pastor Paul Nezeng Mackenzie led a group called the Good News International Church. Kenya's Directorate of Criminal Investigation said in an April 24 news release. The cult group gathered at an 800-acre site in Shakahola Forest, Malindi, where Mackenzie told his followers to starve themselves in order to meet Jesus, police said. Police began investigating the site after receiving a tip on April 14, the release said. Investigators found shallow mass graves and linked a growing number of deaths to the cult. The death toll reached 90 and included several children. Police told AFP and Reuters on April 25. The bodies were all badly decomposed and thought to have died weeks ago, police told the nation. Authorities are investigating whether some of the victims could have been murdered before being buried. Japhet Koum, Inspector General of the National Police Service, said in the release. He described the deaths as disturbing and inhuman. 34 people have been rescued, though the full extent of the tragedy is unknown. The Kenya Red Cross is coordinating with police and helping track reports of people missing in connection with the Good News International Church, the organization said on Twitter on April 24. The organization has received reports of at least 212 unaccounted for victims. We don't know how many more graves, how many more bodies we are likely to discover, Interior Minister Kithure Kindiki told AFP. The making of a deadly cult from the television to police custody. The good news, and so it continued. Now, there was another headline that came out which says with more than 90 bodies already have... let me read that again. With more than 90 bodies already exhumed from Shakahola cult mass graves in Kilifi County. The Kenya Red Cross Society now says 314 people suspected to be followers of cult leader Paul Mackenzie are still missing. Individuals thought to be members of Good News International Church who believed they would go to heaven if they starved themselves to death were reported missing by family members. The Kenya Red Cross Society Coast Regional Coordinator Hassan Musa said they are still receiving more relatives of family members who are looking for their loved ones. According to Musa, of the 212 individuals, 112 are aged below 18 years, while 99 were male and 113 were female. 2 were among those rescued. Police have now recovered more than 90 bodies in the forest in Shakahola, Kilifi County, with the total number of deaths attributed to the cult still unknown as police barred media from accessing the ranch on Wednesday. Musa also said Malindi Hospital mortuary is struggling to accommodate more than 100 bodies, including the 75 that were brought from Shakahola village. In an interview in his office on Tuesday evening, Kilifi County Executive Committee member for Health, Mr. Peter Maroga, said the mortuary at Malindi Sub-County Hospital was full. The Malindi mortuary has a capacity of... The Malindi mortuary has a capacity of 30 bodies. We were overwhelmed because we already had 29 bodies from different areas. It was a challenge for us to keep 94 bodies in the facility, he said. On Wednesday afternoon, the Kilifi County government received 200 capacity refrigerated containers from the Kenya Red Cross Society to preserve bodies from Shakahola village. The government began exhuming bodies from clandestine graves on the sprawling 800-acre property owned by cult leader Mackenzie last Friday. Families and relatives of missing loved ones are still flocking to the rescue center to trace their loved ones. And it goes on, and it ends. So I brought this to your attention because I had a conversation with a co-worker yesterday as I found this and read it to her. And I said to her, you know something? As the days go by and the months and the years, People who are believers, they believe in a creator, they believe in the creator. They believe in the messaging that is communicated to them. And for people who are not grounded in the word, and when we hold up our Bibles, whether it's digital or in print, as a hard copy Bible, unless we are reading the Bible, unless we understand what we read, unless we receive it and know that this Bible is our compass in this walk called the Christian pathway. And that if we appreciate the contents of the Bible, that there is going to come a time when people are going to be led away, then it is going to get worse, because people see life differently in different parts of the world. Is one God, different varying cultures, and people, if a person realizes that they open their mouth and say, the moon is orange, and you look up and you say, but the moon no look orange. Or they say the moon is black, and you say, but the moon not black. They will convince you as to why it is black. And if you don't know better, finally you'll be persuaded. So most of these people, they succumb to persuasion, and it is coming from a very dark and dangerous place. Now, and so we know that people have drank cyanide. We know that people have assembled together. People take off their clothes, start naked, all kinds of things under the guise of a messaging that was sent to them. Help me, Lord, so I can put this right. So, if I am told that you're going to go on fasting and you're going to fast until you die so that you can see Jesus, I know that if I don't eat food, I'm going to dead. No matter how much water I'm going to drink to keep me hydrated. You need food. You need nutrients, which source of water cannot give you like that. It will hydrate you. But you need food. So, for me now to take it up, if I came here and said to you, oh, everyone, my church says, my pastor said that we're going on 100 days of fasting, and so I will not be eating, I will not be drinking, and there is just this sense of pride and foolishness that I am dishing out of my mouth, and you're all looking at me strange and saying, Lady D, how can you be going on fasting for 100 days? And I'll tell you why they say I need to go on it for 100 days. How can people be led away? We ask that question every day. But yes, people will be led away, and there will be more to come. There will be more to come. And people who you think are solid in the faith and all of that, I'm telling you, people will be led astray. What are your thoughts? They actually starved themselves, and clearly they were dying in spurts. So if they have a count now of 314 people who have just given up themselves to the message of that come out of a man's mouth. And they all believe it. And if you notice, they said, so it's almost like you wonder, did he intend to wipe out these younger age group? 112 are aged below 18. Which means, it's most of these are always in clusters of families. So the children are told what to do. And they're coerced into it by parents who believe. I tell you, we have to wake up and realize that there are dangerous people out there, evil people out there. Good evening. Welcome. How are you?
Oh, not bad at all.
Hey there, MS. I'm glad to hear you.
Yeah. I'm trying to connect to the system, but I am able to connect by my Echo Dot, but Lady A was not able to, so I connected her from my side.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna do it again for her.
All right, that's fine.
Okay. All right.
Not bad. All righty. Yes. So, do you have a comment? 914-600-4228. It's 15 minutes after 7 o'clock. I'd like to hear your thoughts, because there are some really serious things going on out there. And I'd like to hear from you. 914-600-4228. What do you think? What do you think of this? That's Paul. Yes, what do you think? Because, life is... People's lives are snuffed out of them just because somebody said some nonsense. Just because somebody said some nonsense. Horrible. Horrible. Give me a call. Let me hear from you. 914-600-4228. 914-600-4... Hey, Andrea. Ah, Lord, I see as usual. He used to stand before the mirror and practice to smile. I don't know if you know him like that, but I know him like that. He would stand up before the mirror and practice to smile. It's my Calypso Music Thursday. Do you have a comment? Good evening to you, Auntie Daff. How are you?
you is a robot, or they put you so, you ain't even stopping for a break at all. You go dig yourself when you collapse and fall. I say, look how everybody else having fun. You are alone with it like a pony one. All day long, having fun. We rockin' all night tonight. We rockin' all night tonight. So relax and take it light. Everything gonna be alright. I don't want no sad news. Me ain't taking no. I don't want no excuse. When I reach, let's go. You hear me? We rockin' all night tonight. We rockin' all night tonight. So relax and take it light. We rockin' all night tonight. Hey, this lady promoter approached me cool as ever. Say she had a show and dance and needed my performance. She said to me, will it cost it soda? The next thing I see is my demon poster. She want me to sing in Chicago. I don't want to pay me no money. I say, darling, I can't do that. It is against the copyright act, but still, she want me to sing in Chicago. For free, but not me. No sorry. There we go. Rock it up. You there? All right. One more. Hey, you there when you go in town, girl. Watch how you moving around, child. I need you jamming in this deep band. I have a care with them iron man. I am a new go around, girl.
25 minutes after 7 o'clock.
I'm a go child.
Center stage.
From the free
The
child.
platform where voices are heard and people connect. Right here on Linkage Radio. Inside the Zone.
Men get tight. They don't
Coming up next is my special feature on Harry Belafonte.
I'm telling you. What less than them, you know?
Lady D. Lady D. Lady D is on the radio.
Hey, give it.
Good evening, everyone. As you know, my weekend begins with you today. I see King Ryan dancing. Dance, Ryan, dance.
All
body. And there she was standing in a corner, looking so sweet and without a partner. So I went over, I spoke to her, she smiled, and I said to her, would you like to rock it with me, baby? Would you like to jam it with me, honey? Sweet calypso, music jamming for soul. Come and rock it with me, baby. Come and jam it with me, honey.
.30 p.m. I'm taking it down. I hope you enjoyed that set that I just gave you, because more music coming, but guess what? It's now time for me to merge into the segment that I call my ITZ special, Harry Belafonte. Yes, for many of you, Harry Belafonte was born Harold George Belafonte Jr., March 1, 1927 to April 25, 2023, was Jamaican-American singer and activist who popularized calypso music with international audiences in the 1950s. Belafonte is one of the few performers to have received an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony, aka EGOT. Although he won the Oscar in a non-competitive category, he earned his career breakthrough with the album Calypso 1956, which was the first million-selling LP by a single artist. Welcome to my feature of the late Harry Belafonte. Good evening, everyone. Taking you back in time.
Daylight come and me want go home. Me said daylight come and me want go home. Work all night and a drink a rum. Daylight come and we want go home. Stack banana till the morning come. Daylight come and we want go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and we want go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and we want go home. Live 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and we want go home. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and we want go home. Day is a day, oh. Daylight come and we want go home. Day is a day, is a day, is a day. Daylight come and we want go home. A beautiful bunch, a ripe banana. Daylight come and me want go home. Hide the deadly black tarantula.
Daylight come and me want go home.
Live 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch.
Daylight come and me want go home.
6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch.
Daylight come and me want go home.
Day is a day, oh.
Daylight come and me want go home.
Day is a day, is a day, is a day.
Daylight come and me want go home.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana.
Daylight come and me want go home.
Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana.
Daylight come and me want go home.
Day-o, day-o.
Daylight come and me want go home.
Day, is a 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 day.
Daylight come and me want go home. Wow. And I continue, of course, my feature. Belafonte was best known for his recordings of Deo, the Banana Boat song, Jump in the Line, and Shake Senora, Jamaica Farewell, and Mary's Boy Child. He recorded and performed in many genres, including blues, folk, gospel, show tunes, and American standards. He also starred in films such as Carmen Jones, 1954, Island in the Sun, 1957, Odds Against Tomorrow, 1959, Buck and the Preacher, 1972, and Uptown Saturday Night, 1974. He made his final screen appearance in Spike Lee's Black Klansman in 2018. Belafonte considered the actor, singer, and activist Paul Robeson a mentor, and he was a close confidant of Martin Luther King Jr. during the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 1960s. He was a vocal critic of the policies of the George W. Bush and Donald Trump administrations. Belafonte acted as the American Civil Liberties Union Celebrity Ambassador for juvenile justice issues. And I do have more features for you.
The thing that makes it very unique in America is that our history books and our chronicles have been intense in their absence of this kind of telling of the black experience in our history. And the film has caused quite a great amount of interest because it's unfolding for the first time. Most people didn't even know blacks were anywhere near involved, let alone interested in the West.
And Sidney Poitier, of course, also directed the film. What kind of experience was that for you?
As a very close friend, it could have been hair-raising, but it really turned out to be a very powerful advantage. I have sought to unfold certain qualities in film that has heretofore eluded me. And as an actor, in this instance, because Sidney received the directorial responsibilities by a default, it turned out to be a blessing because knowing me so well, he could play on many themes and draw out many things that I think gives me the best posture I've ever had as a performer in film.
Are you financially involved in the film?
Very heavily. Both Sidney and I pursue much of what is the contemporary line in filmmaking. We took no salaries, very little expense money, and placed our hopes and our aspirations and our faith in the fact that the end product would be rewarding enough, both aesthetically as well as financially.
Before Buck and the Preacher, you did a film called Angel Levine. It got rather mixed reviews over here. There was a feeling that it was
all over the world.
Whimsical. Did that worry you at all?
No, reviews by and large don't worry me. I think that when you set out to make a statement or to do something, if you are not understood, that can be somewhat painful. You kind of wondered what you should have done, or in fact intensify your support of your own integrity. I'm a little sad that much more wasn't understood about Angel Levine. But there have been a lot of great works in the history of art that have never been understood in its lifetime.
But now, before Angel Levine, you had something like 12 years out of the cinema altogether. Why so long?
In my early years in the cinema, I was constantly confronted with doing what was demanded of me with absolutely no control over it. I couldn't determine the kind of part I wanted to play because we were powerless. Also, in constantly pursuing certain themes that I was interested in, the Hollywood community had no interest in it for two reasons. Both are heavily intertwined. The dominant factor, I think, were for racist reasons. Not absolute racism, but certainly enough ramifications of it to influence the industry's attitude towards black performers and black subject matter. And in the constant attack and the constant confrontations with the motion picture institutions, I found out that they were just part of a much larger symptom, a much larger pain, and that was the racist qualities that permeated the entire nation. And perhaps, or at least I felt it was incumbent upon me, as well as many others, to involve ourselves in trying to reshape the national priorities and the national attitude towards blacks and the black experience. And if in fact we were successful with that, we would then find that this attitude would disseminate through all phases of American life. Well, in part that has come to pass. But now, when I go back to these same institutions and talk about films such as Buck and the Preacher, there's an immediate and an instant response in the positive. Plus the fact that in those years, what also happened was that the black community acquired a great consciousness and a great commitment to their own self-esteem. And as a consequence, became more discriminating about what they would see and what they would support. So where the industry could always have called upon them for blanket support because they'd go and see anything, in this new discerning and discriminating pattern, they began to carve out their own interests. As a consequence, the black community is doing a great deal to support films made by black entrepreneurs and dealing with black subject matter.
But now, before that change came about, and at the time of films like Island in the Sun, you were very much used as the kind of token acceptable black in a white setup. Were you at the time unhappy about that?
I was at the time unhappy about it. I discussed it at great length with Zanuck and with Robert Rossen and people involved. But there was another priority. You see, the American film and the American scene had certain myths going for it that were devastating to us. First was the concept that anything with an all-black subject matter was doomed to economic failure. And they had recite films like Stormy Weather and Cabin in the Sky, for example. And certainly with a country that was so racially imbalanced in its emotions and its personality, anything dealing with miscegenation was doomed to failure. And I committed myself to two projects, one that was all black called Carmen Jones, and then to Island in the Sun, only because I felt the powers that were behind both of these films would give them success. And once they gained the posture of success, then one wouldn't have to deal so all the time with whether there was an interracial theme or an interracial plot, but just getting down to the business of what is the human condition, what is the humanity of the film. So that Island in the Sun, although many things eluded me, many things I didn't care for, one has to see it in the perspective of history.
If things have improved for black actors in America, how about technicians, the people who work behind the cameras in films?
Well, for instance, on the film Angel Levine, I instituted an apprentice program which brought to it some 26 young people. Most of them came from the black community, others came from Puerto Rico and from Chicano, which is the Mexican-American community, and American Indian. And they trained on the film, both in pre-production, production, and post-production activity. And that program was carried on to other productions. And since that time, a number of them have become members of the unions, and have become more deeply involved, and the program has broadened. So that we find now, not just in feature film, but in documentary, with such institutions as public broadcasting, which is very much like your own BBC, and as a matter of fact, uses quite a bit of the programming from BBC on our national educational television. There are many blacks and many ethnic groups that are quite skilled and quite good. So in that area, a lot of things are opening up. I don't mean to suggest by anything that I'm saying here that it's anywhere near where it should be, but it's a vast improvement over where it was.
Harry Belafonte, thank you.
Brilliant man. And I sat here, listened, though I had to go do my prep ahead of time. But I had to say to myself, the more things change, the more they remain the same. Black actors today are still struggling. While you have those who have attained a certain acclaim, there are still those at the very bottom that are trying to come up, but they're still being oppressed. They're misinterpreted. And it's because of the mind. It's our minds, how we see people, their thoughts, their culture, which includes our food, music, etc. It's one of those things. So good evening, everyone.
Shake, 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 Sinora, shake your body line. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake it all the time. Work, 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 Sinora, work your body line. Work, 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 Sinora, work it all the time. My girl's name is Sonora. I tell you, friends, I adore her. And when she dances, oh brother, she's a hurricane in all kinds of weather. Jump in the line, rock your body on time. Okay, I believe you, jump in the line, rock your body on time. Okay, I believe you, jump in the line, rock your body on time. Okay, I believe you, jump in the line, rock your body on time. Whoop. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake your body line. Whoop. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake it all the time. Work, 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 Sinora, work your body line. Work, work, work.
7:45
Work it all the time.
p.m. that is.
You can talk about cha-cha, tango waltz or the rumba. Senora's dance has no title. You jump in the saddle, hold on to the bridle. Jump in the line, rock your body on time. Okay, I believe you, jump in the line, rock your body. Rock your body, child. Jump in the line, rock your body in time. Somebody help me. Jump in the line, rock your body in time. Whoop. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake your body line. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake it all the time. Work, 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 Sinora, work your body line. Yeah. Work, 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 Sinora, work it all the time. Sinora, she's a sensation, the reason for aviation. And fellas, you got to watch it. When she wind up, she bottom, she go like a rocket. Jump in the line, rock your body in time. Okay, I believe you, jump in the line, rock your body in. Heist those skirts a little higher, jump in the line.
He actually pictured that, right? I'm sure.
Jump in the line.
Boy, the mind. Talking about the lady's bottom, really? Good evening, welcome to my special feature. Who is on the phone with me?
Shake, 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 Senora. Shake your body in line.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
DL.
Every time I hear Harry Belafonte's song, it just evokes tourism. It evokes it's just like when you listen to what's his name? I'd sing oh my God.
We're having a scene. Dear, we're having
Margarita.
Oh.
Margarita this guy.
Margarita? What did you say?
Yeah. What's his name? That thing, Margarita. What's his Oh my goodness, what's his name now? And it B. Oh,
His name ends with B.
yeah, man. They,
Master, I am not even tuned in. My brain, me no
you know
know.
what I'm talking, man. Margarita Vale guy, man. Oh my goodness. Whenever he sings, it's just like in my album, it evokes beach life.
Okay.
You know, which Arabella Infante's songs have done so much in Jamaica tourism because as somebody who worked in the business and they're always, especially why am I going blank now?
I don't know, sir.
Oh my God, AJ Brown.
Oh, okay.
He always do a repertoire of Arabella Infante songs. You know, he really carried it on. It's always a part of his his cabaret show. You know, this and the other one, the popular one, Deo, and always get the guests them involved and so forth. So it is an integral part of Jamaican tourism, and a lot of people here in America who having heard of him passing will go right back in Jamaica because his song are just like the wind that just carry.
Right.
And it just that hotel, that beach, you know, vibes about it. You know, quickly today I was listening to.
Oh, go ahead.
Today I was listening to an interview that he did way back in 1993 with this lady named Terry Gross on a program on NPR called Fresh Air. And my goodness, I've learned so much more about him. And she also had done an interview with Sidney Poitier when he died. She played it.
Okay.
And I realized how much their showbiz life have a lot in common. It all started.
Yes, because even back in 1972, they were a part of a panel. And
correct.
And you know, they both Sydney and he shared why they were a part of that. And you know, very interesting. They wanted to not just sing, but they wanted to make an impact.
Yeah, man, this man is deep. You know, I had the occasion of being in his presence way back in 2008. And now that all that I'm learning now about him in depth, I realize how much I did not maximize the moment.
Well, I say, go massa. We take things for granted, you know.
In his presence, yeah.
We take things for granted.
Here's what I learned from the interview today. It was on top of what I've heard before regarding Dr. Martin Luther King, that he had bailed he was one who had bailed Dr. Martin Luther King out of jail, which was arrested. And now I learned from the interview today that he bought a life insurance on Dr. Martin Luther King's life and made Coretta Scott King the beneficiary.
Wow, yes.
Yeah.
He was a remarkable man.
Because he didn't have the money to do it.
He was a remarkable man, I tell you.
Absolutely. This man is huge.
Remarkable.
This man is huge beyond Commissioner Tallyman. This man is huge beyond Matilda. This man is huge beyond Shake. This man is huge beyond Mary's Boy Child. This man is huge behind Buck and the Preacher. This man is huge beyond Uptown Saturday Night. This man is huge.
Yes, absolutely. I appreciate your calling to endorse. May his soul rest. Yes. Thank you, DL.
You're welcome.
All righty. 914-600-4228. It's 7:52. Can you believe it? Oh, how the time is just zipsing by. But he also, so let me just continue with my feature. 7:53. Belafonte was Belafonte won 3 Grammy Awards, including a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, an Emmy Award, and a Tony Award. In 1989, he received the Kennedy Center Honors. He was awarded the National Medal of Arts in 1994. In 2014, he received the Jean Hirschholt Humanitarian Award at the Academy's 6th Annual Governors Awards, and in 2022 was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in the Early Influence category. And I'd like to share a clip for you of the award I just mentioned, the Jean Hirschholt Humanitarian Award back in 2014.
I would like to start off by saying thank you to Susan Sarandon, not just for the anointing and the words she has just spoken, but because she has been so much in the lives of people who need the human heart and the human spirit to be in the midst of their struggle to better themselves. And I'd like to thank Chris Rock for bringing humor into the moment. And I'd like to also thank all of you who are here this evening, my very good friends and very close friends who have turned out to be in support, and all the rest of you whom I don't know intimately but have felt your presence in my life because I've seen your art, I've seen your work, I've seen your poetry, and I've been inspired by much. So thank you for all this, and I will now get on with my remarks for this evening. America has come a long way since Hollywood in 1915 gave the world the film Birth of a Nation. By all measure, this cinematic work was considered the greatest film ever made. The power of moving pictures to impact on human behavior was never more powerfully evidenced than when, after the release of this film, American citizens went on a murderous rampage. Races were set one against the other. Fire and violence erupted. Baseball bats and billy clubs bashed heads. Blood flowed in streets of our cities, and lives were lost. The film also gained the distinction of being the first film ever screened at the White House. The then presiding president, Woodrow Wilson, openly praised the film, and with the power of this presidential anointing, validated the film's brutality and its grossly distorted view of history. This, too, further inflamed the nation's racial divide. In 1935, at the age of 8, sitting in a Harlem theater, I watched in awe and wonder the incredible feats of a white superhero, Tarzan of the Apes. Tarzan was a sight to see. This porcelain Adonis, this white liberator who could speak no language, swinging from tree to tree, saving Africa from the tragedy of destruction by a black indigenous population of inept.
Good evening to you.
Good evening, Lady D.
Good evening, my dear Hortense.
Yes, Mama. Here, I hear calling me banana. And you don't sing Papa Lupa Boo Boo Day.
Oh dear.
Mama.
Oh Lord, I didn't look for that one.
Okay. Lady B, here, funny, how me hear it, somebody link me up to their phone so that I could hear.
Okay. Oh Lord, I don't know. So what exactly how do you listen to the radio?
I listen to the radio on Lincoln station, but something happening. I mean, I know when wildfire. So that's what happened when I get it.
Oh,
See
Lord. I got
so that's
you.
what because we hear.
Yes. I don't want to take your number on the air because I don't know why I thought I had your phone number. And when I spoke to you the other day, that's why you didn't hear from me. I'm like, I don't have Horten's number. I was a little distressed because I had promised I would check out the reason why you weren't able to pick us up. But I realized I didn't have your number and I don't want to do it on air like that.
Okay. Well, I'm not even doing it number out of my head. You'd have to take you off of the phone.
Oh Lord. Okay.
You'd have to take you off just to know for like what all you know. You'd have to get it.
Oh. Let me see if I can see it. Okay, I got you. All right, I'll go look and see when I come off. But you're good though.
Yes.
Good. Because it's 1 minute to 8. I know you just got me when I'm coming off, but I appreciate the fact that you called.
Yes. All right. That's a quick 1 minute to 8.
Yes, a minute to 8 o'clock. I've been here whole evening.
But me hear when you say 7:52. Then when you reach 1 minute.
It passed minute now. We snap in the middle of it.
Oh, all right.
All right, my darling. God willing, Monday?
Yes.
All right. Enjoy your weekend. I hope so too, for your sake. Love you. Blessing. Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right. That's my Hortense. So good evening, everyone. Wrapping up the show right now with...
Down the way where the nights are gay, sunshine daily on the mountain top. I took a trip on a sailing ship, and when I reached Jamaica, I made a stop. But I'm sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is turning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston town. Sad to say I'm on my way. Won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is turning around. I had to leave a little girl in. Everybody sad to say I'm on my way.
And as we say farewell to Harry Belafonte, may his soul rest. He lived a rich life.
Just the audience said.
And yes, we're able to talk about him because he did stuff. And it's down in history. May his soul rest in peace. I hope you had a wonderful evening with me this evening. Here on Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. And so me I go on my yard now. I'm looking forward to being back. Lordy. I'm going to see, I don't eat meat, but I'm going to see if I can soccer a chicken neck. So I'm looking forward to being back, God willing, on Monday to do it all over with the Monday Drive. A lot of love and blessings, everybody. Please be good. I'll try to do the same, and that we'll remain safe. Thanks to Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant for sponsoring the show. Thanks to Chris Wilby for carrying the show on his platform. The same for Touch FM Radio 90.1.
I must declare my heart is there, though I've been from.
God bless and keep you. Mwah. I'm out of here.
Still I'm sad to say I'm on my way. Going back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is turning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston town. Sad to say I'm on my My heart is down, my head is turning around. I have to leave
Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one. The best music.